So I'm going to spend a few minutes today talking about something that I think is quite relevant to what's kind of going on in our world right now. And so there's really has been an increase of folks feeling anxious, down, stressed out. And so I think it's now more than ever, it's important to show kindness to others as well as showing kindness to ourselves. And I know for folks, it can be easier to show kindness to other people than it is to our own selves. And so today I'm just going to spend around 2 or 3 minutes talking about how we might show ourselves a bit more kindness during this time. And so there's an American psychologist named Kristen Neuf who describes self-compassion as showing kindness to oneself, which entails being gentle, supportive, and understanding. So rather than judging ourselves for the mistakes we make or for if we notice things that we don't like about ourselves, instead we replace that with warmth and kindness towards ourselves. So really, in essence, it's being kind to ourselves in good and bad, sickness and in health, and again, even when we make mistakes. So self-compassion really involves always being kind to yourself. So, if you're going through a challenging time, you feel like you're failing, you're still having that positive self-talk and being gentle with yourself. And so it's really kind of moving away from kind of that whole mentality of having that stiffer upper lip and ignoring how you're feeling and replacing that with thoughts around, wow, this is a really difficult time right now, and what can I do to help myself in this moment? And so when we're more mindful of our struggles and we respond to ourselves in kind and gentle ways, that's when we kind of notice that things begin to change. We can learn to embrace ourselves, even with the downfalls, even with the mistakes, and we learn how to thrive and to move forward in a more positive way. So someone might ask, why is self-compassion so important? And so what we know is in the past 10 years or so, there's been a lot more research around correlation between self-compassion and psychological well-being. And so we know for folks who practice self-compassion, they're more likely to be more socially connected, they're likely to have more satisfaction with life, they're happier, and generally they just do better. And so with that, we know then that lowers somebody's chances of depression, anxiety, shame, and an important thing to note is that folks who do practice self-compassion they're less likely to seek affirmation or self-validation from other people because they're getting it from themselves. So I'm just going to spend a minute talking about a few little pointers that we can start to think about if we're wanting to be kinder to ourselves or if we're wanting to kind of start practicing more self-compassion. And the first one is, it might be, you might kind of think, that's kind of strange, but it's viewing yourself as if you were a child. And so I think as adults, we really know how to show compassion to little people. And so if we see a little, peanut riding their bikes and they fall over and they scrape their knee, as adults, we know that we need to go over there and soothe them and pick them up and hold them. And so if we were able to kind of switch that around and give ourselves that same type of compassion, I think we'd all be able to make a lot more progress towards being kinder to ourselves. I think the second piece of tidbit to think about is know that you're not alone. Know that there's millions of other people who have experienced what you're going through or are experiencing what you're going through right now, and that it's our flaws and the same imperfections that we have as people that bring us together, and that we're all connected. So if you're wanting to know more information or if you're wanting to get additional support, please feel free to call our social work line.